Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Spiritually Raw. And as always, thank you so much for your energy exchange with us today. And we hope you woke to the most miracle morning and are also having the most fortunate day today. So I just absolutely love this topic, Elixir of the Gods, Part 2.
Can never get enough of it.
Yeah, you know the part twos are always better, right? In this whole in the whole sequel events, right? They're all for the most part anyway. But welcome everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us as you always do. Our links will be in the description below, and we will get that there. All right, cool. That's all good. So our links will be in the description below. How to stay connected with us? Thanks. You can always watch all of our episodes on Roku TV. Also download us on the app, and then, but most importantly today.
And
what you're here for.
A second. For those of you that are watching from wherever you're watching, please take one quick second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and we would all greatly appreciate it if you would share the video.
So we have asked back, and we're just with so much love and gratitude, Dr. David Silverman and Danielle Matthews here to really help us on this journey, because we've been able to really, it feels like, from not only our experience, but also from the hundreds and hundreds over such a very short period of time, your testimonials are just off the charts. Much love to you, and God bless you for having this experience, because we did this too. But again, thank you so much, Dr. David Silverman and Danielle Matthews. Thanks for our soul sisters and brothers here back here today. It's a privilege to get to meet your spirits here. Thanks for doing this. This is good. We wanted to bring you back on again to really let's dive down in this. There's people that are seeing this everywhere now. You know, if they're like, okay, this is it. All right, now it's time for me to really take this seriously.
It's popping up all over YouTube.
yeah, it's popping up all over YouTube. YouTube are becoming both YouTube becoming YouTube sensations. So that's good. And but again, let's talk about this for a minute, Dr. David. If you could welcome a little bit about your background, if you could, and I'll let you do yourself justice and give us a quick broad brush of who you are and your position with the company.
Sure. Thanks so much. Can you hear me okay, Jay and April?
100%.
Yes,
awesome. Hi, Danielle. Yeah, I'm happy. Right now I'm sitting in Ocean City, Maryland, literally looking out at the ocean here. So I'm not in my usual background. So I put this background here with like angel beams or sunbeams coming out of my head. I'm sorry for the background here, but I'm at my beach condo here. But very happy to be here. And what you've been seeing in the last few weeks, I've been seeing for the past 10 years. And you call it the elixir of the gods. I just call it a miracle, an absolute scientific miracle. My background is foot and ankle surgery. I practiced in the state of Maryland. I live half the year now in Maryland, and I've sold my practice now. I live in half the year in Florida. Right now I'm in Ocean City, Maryland, not out in my regular home near DC. But I was board certified in foot surgery for orthopedics. I own my own practice. I'm what we call, I love health. I love helping people on what I call psychologically unemployable. I never could work for anybody, and I don't. It's just distasteful to me. The world needs employees, that's for sure. It wasn't me. I just can't do that. I want to be the captain of my own ship, no matter how big it is. I just want to be the captain of my own ship, small or big. But that's my background. And just real quickly, 11 years ago, I was introduced to this product. So I've been seeing it work for this long. And the reason I took the time to look at it as a very skeptical doctor was because I loved somebody my father, who was ill. And I thought to myself, I can't afford to ignore this. I can't afford to dismiss this. What if it's true? Even though it sounded too good to be true. I had no idea what I was stepping into. I had no idea that I would find very shortly, within about 6 months, and you're getting there, you'll be at 6 months soon, and maybe you already realize it, but this is the greatest advancement in the field of health ever.
I figured that one out in the first few weeks, honestly.
Yeah.
Truly, like nothing we have ever heard about, seen, come across ever. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I saw. I didn't know this then because, it's a breakthrough. It's a literal breakthrough. And breakthroughs always sound too good to be true to the masses. I mean, they just don't believe it until they see it themselves, or they see people on television saying it's true on the news. All of a sudden it's real to them, because some people just believe everything they see on the news. But the nice thing about this product, this technology, is, and we can talk about it, is that there's a very, very easy and fast way for anybody, no matter how skeptical they are, no matter how smart they are. anybody that doesn't believe it, there's a way that anybody can know it's real within 10 minutes. And I love that there's a way to do that. And it's as safe as water, and it comes with a money back guarantee. So the only people that don't take the time to really look at it or try it are people who are very cynical. And they'll be on it later. I always tell people, look, maybe it's not for you right now. I feel bad for you and the people you love, but I'm not going to try to convince you. You got to do your own due diligence and try it yourself. And if you do what I say, you'll know that it's real in 10 minutes. And there won't be any question of, oh, it sounds too good to be true. The question will be, why didn't we know about this before? And I just thank God you know about it. And I thank God that Danielle knows about it. And I thank God my father knows about it, because that was 11 years ago and he's fine today.
God bless you. God bless you. And thank you for sharing that. Danielle Matthews, you've just been an incredible soul sister to us on this journey and helping us being able to share this information with so many people. And so many lives have been affected as a result of this in a really good way. And it's just beautiful to see that. Tell us a bit about you, if you can, broad brush, who you are and your reasons for, what this means to you.
Sure. It's interesting how everything in life kind of unfolds the way it's meant to. I got my degree in biology. I've always been fascinated with the body. But I went into education right out of school. And so I've always loved teaching people about things. But I was involved in a very severe car accident 10 years ago. The anniversary was actually last week, 10-year anniversary. And it took my life on a different track because I lost my health. And so it put me in a space where I was searching for answers. And honestly, Jay, like the medical community just didn't have the answers for me. They told me that it was just the new normal that I had to adjust to and kind of shape my life around these symptoms. And I thought, like, this isn't a life worth living, like this is going to be like, I don't want to be here. And so I searched, and the answer came in the beautiful blue bottle of ELIXIR. It is what allowed my body to just restore itself, to repair itself. And when I got my health back, I just thought, everything happens for a reason. And what is this making possible? And I realized, with my background and understanding of the body, my ability to speak and connect and educate with people, it makes sense for me to help others learn about this breakthrough and educate them, around the world about it. And so that's what I've been doing. So the last, it's been 8 years I've been using the product, 6 years that I've been sharing it with other people, and just meeting the most amazing people. Because Jay, beyond the technology, I think the other beautiful thing with ELIXIR is who it attracts in, because certain people are attracted to a product like this and that want to serve humanity, that want to uplift humanity, that want to help others get to the next vibration, so we collectively can all raise as well. And so, it's no surprise to me that you and April found this, and April, that you saw it for what it was so quickly. Because you were in that space and you're on that mission. And so it's like, oh, this fits perfectly with what we're doing and is going to help, it's what we've been asking for, and here it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so true that you said it's what we have been asking for. You have to be careful what you wish for, because you're highly probably going to get it.
Yeah.
Exactly what we have been asking for. What can we do? There's got to be something out there that's going to help raise our vibration, raise our consciousness, make us feel more connected, make us feel definitely a lot more energetic, sleep better at night, be a better person, just feel all around better well-being. There had to be something out there, and lo and behold, there is, and it's been here for a while. And we really feel that, I think the timing of everything for us personally was perfect, because we had been through a whole process of testing a whole bunch. Testing so many various health and wellness products. So we had a pretty extensive background with trying stuff out.
Yeah.
And then when we found this, we knew this was in a different category. This was because it's not a supplement. It's not a vitamin. It's not a medication. So then what is it really? It's salt water. Trying to, once you digest that this is literally just sodium chloride, it will never harm you. And then you start to feel the benefits of what it actually does. At first you're kind of like almost in disbelief. You're like, how can something so simplistic work?
Yeah.
How's this possible, Dr. David?
Well, it's funny because I shot a couple of videos with URLs that are exactly what you just said. You said, how is it possible? I shot a video called whyitspossible.com. It's 10 minutes, whyitspossible.com, which I'll explain here. And you also said it's sodium chloride, but it really isn't, but it was. It was salt water. And I shot a video and it's a URL. It was saltwater.com. So it explains that it really was saline. So what this is it's not like you say, it's not a pharmaceutical, it's not a nutritional, it's really a replenishment. And a replenishment means that if you're low on something, you replenish it, right? I mean, you fill your gas tank up, you replenish the gas, you replenish the oil, you replenish the washer fluid. It's replenishment. And why do we call it that? Because what's in this bottle, it's called redox signaling molecules. Redox stands for reductant and oxidant. But what's in it is in us. So you call it the elixir of the gods. I mean, God had something to do with us being here. This is in us. This is when people say, is it man-made or is it natural? Yeah, it's man-made because it's made in man. It's made in women. It's made in animals. We make it, but we made more when we were younger. And as we age, we see what happens to our grandparents. We see what happens to us. We deteriorate, right? Not only do we get on more medications and have more issues as we age, we heal slower. Our skin deteriorates and changes. All these things happen, and it really accelerates, not in our 50s. It really accelerates in our teens. At puberty, something happens. And at 20, we fall off a bicycle and have an accident at 20, the same accident we had at 8. We heal a lot faster at 8 than we do at 20, right? Why does that happen? Something happened at puberty, right? And I'll explain it. And then we have the same accident at 50, and we fall off our bicycle. And we might be in physical therapy for a year. We might limp. We might have ringing in our ear the rest of our life, right? And then we have the same accident at 80 that we had at 8. And there's a good chance that we're going to die, unfortunately, falling off our bicycle, either right then or from complications afterwards, blood clots, whatever it is. So why is it we don't bounce back quicker? Why do we bounce back slower or not at all when we're older? Why do we have more health issues? Well, at puberty, our mitochondria produces these little molecules from saline. And it's not saline anymore. So let me hit that right now. So our cells are filled with saline. When you go to the hospital and you get an IV, they give you saline. When you cry, your tears are salty. Your sweat's salty. People don't, I'm looking at the Atlantic Ocean out the window here, literally, and it's all saline, right? But that's what our cells are filled with. You know, we came from the ocean. I mean, you know, I watch the dolphins go by. I think, hey, those guys went back in the ocean. They came out on land, developed lungs, and they went back in. We didn't go back in, but we came from that. And our cells are filled with saline. And our mitochondria float in that saline in our cells. And so these the mitochondria float in the cells in saline. So the mitochondria uses sodium and chloride, and H2O to make these reductants and oxidants, these redox molecules, right? But they're in a different form than sodium chloride. People look online and say, oh, it's just salt water. Go to itwassaltwater.com and you'll see. It's not salt water, but it was, right? This is patented. There's IP on this. And you could rub salt water on people that are hurting. Go put salt water on 10 people that their shoulder hurts, their neck hurts. Put it on and in 10 minutes, ask them how they feel. You know, maybe 1 out of 10. Take the gel version of this and do that and watch what happens to 9 out of 10 people. It's hard to get my hands there, but 9 out of 10 people in 10 minutes. It's pretty remarkable. So bottom line is this. Our cells start producing less of this at puberty, less in our 20s, less in our 30s, less in our 40s, 50s. I'm 61 years old. I'll be 62 in a few months. My cells make this much. My body should be functioning as a 61-year-old, but it doesn't. I feel like I'm in my 20s. I don't take any medications. I feel fantastic. I mean, I jump around a house. I mean, with little kids, I'm playing on the ground, rolling on the ground. I feel like a kid, right? And because when I drink this, I raise my levels back up to what they were when I was younger. So my body functions like a much younger person. And really what it does is, it's in that video at whyitspossible.com, but it is just that it makes my cells communicate better. It makes it so my cells can function better, and old bad cells that aren't functioning properly, or they're becoming something horrible that my immune system should hear and get rid of that bad cell so it doesn't multiply itself. This doesn't cure you or heal you. It makes it so your immune system can hear when you have cells that aren't good anymore. And so your immune system does the job. This doesn't do the job. This just does the signaling. This helps amplify the signal to the immune system to come do its job. And while this does a lot more than just that, that's the simplest way to explain it. People say, well, how could it possibly help me with my eye problem? And then why? How could it possibly help me with my lung problem? How could it possibly help my dad who's losing his memory with his brain problem? How could it help me with my skin? Because the whole body's made up of cells. And if our cells are fresh and healthy, if our cells are fresh, young, and healthy, they function better than old, damaged cells that aren't functioning well. This just amplifies the signal so the body can do what it's supposed to do, and that's get rid of bad cells and replace them with fresh ones.
Which makes perfect sense.
And I tell you, and I want to just acknowledge this. Tracy is so excited to order a couple of ASEA products and got an alert. It will be Friday. Tracy, that's the energy, and that's the energy everybody wants to have, is when you know a new version of you is on its way. It's in the mail. A new version of you for real, and that's literally how I have, thanks to these two, we have felt over coming on 6 months now, is a consistent new version that keeps showing up. When you think you've got a good, I like this feeling, you know what I mean? Another one pops up, and it's like there's always like I just love it, because I just feel like always like this newness. You know what I mean? There's always a constant reviving. It's never that feeling of like, oh man, I feel. It's like I literally, like you say, Dr. David, living younger longer, and that's just that's literally what it feels like. You wake up and don't you? I mean, it's like,
oh gosh, every day you wake up and you feel rejuvenated. You feel excited. You're like excited to start your day. I was sharing something with the both of you yesterday through a text. We're in South Florida right now, and it's like in the 90s every day. And I personally, there's something I've been noticing that's happening. I cannot stand sunscreen. I hate it. It's like when I put on sunscreen, I feel like I might as well just spray Pledge on or something so lethal into you. I mean, you're putting like all this toxic, heavy material, liquid, like goo into your skin. I hate it. So this year I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I am not going to put, and everybody's like, oh, you got to put sunscreen on. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put all that heavy goo on my skin because it clogs all your skin.
Had a whole T-shirt. I'm not wearing sunscreen. Anti with a circle. That whole mess.
Yeah, I was like,
it gets into your bloodstream. It gets into your bloodstream too.
Right, exactly. So we're on vacation. I said I'm not going to do it. So I'm like, I'm going to test this product. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work for everyone. I'm just telling you the experience, a very interesting experience that I have found. And Jay, the past couple of days. We've been here for almost 3 weeks, and my family's been here for the past week. So I really have been with them, and they, of course, they're here from Pennsylvania. They want to go to the beach, and they want to be in the ocean every single solitary minute of the day. So that's where I've been literally for like the past 5-7 days. I've been on the beach and in the sun all day long in the Fort Lauderdale sun with no sunscreen, none, zero, and I have no sun issues. Are
you putting this on too, or no?
This is
that's all she's using.
I said I'm going to put this little thing to the test. I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but since I refuse to use sunscreen, I wanted to put something that made me feel like I was protecting my skin of some sort. So I lathered myself, not even multiple times, not even after I came out of the ocean. I put it on once in the morning, all over, everywhere. I have not gotten any sunburn. Now, normally, if I was in the sun that long, I would look like an alligator and my skin would be so dried out. It would be awful. I have no issues, no sunburn, no dry skin. And I think also because the inside is becoming so much more healthier. And I would love to get your perspective on this. If the inside's so much healthier and the cells are activating and being amplified and they're working better than they've ever worked before, is that helping also repel the burn, that sensation from the sun?
I will tell you, I don't know. I'm still learning after 11 years of this. I'm on the medical board of the company. It's a volunteer position. And I really am just an educator. Once I saw what this did, I decided I was going to get involved with bringing it to the world. And it's a gift. It's a gift from God, really. And the
For
fact
sure.
that these scientists were able to do this is just beyond belief. Everybody feels like their hands and their minds were touched by God and said, "Do this," because this is patented. There's IP on it. Nobody can replicate this. It's very, very, very unique. And I don't understand everything. So I know a few things. One is it's as safe as water. You can't be allergic to it. Two, it doesn't interfere with medications. You don't have to worry about that. So people just baseline everything in their health where they are today: energy, sleep, mood, hair, skin, breathing, eyes, libido, everything. And there's no toxicity. You can't drink too much. Most people drink 4 to 8 ounces a day. Sometimes I'll drink the whole 32-ounce bottle a day. If I'm going to be going on a plane, I'm going to be traveling around. If I go to Europe, or I'm like, I need to have some shields up for all the sick people that are going to be around me on the airplane, right? So there's no toxicity. It's as safe as water. It comes with a money back guarantee. And so when people say, "Well, it helped me with this problem," "Well, it helped me with that problem," I generally just say, and I learned a long time ago, is I say, "Does the problem you're talking about involve cells?" And every problem in the body involves cells, including the skin going in the sun. So and if someone says, "How do I know it works?" I say, really, the quickest way, as I said, when you get your product and you baseline everything in your health, and you're going to track your progress, knowing there's a money back guarantee for 30 days, take the gel, take pictures of your skin, wrinkles, scars, conditions, whatever. Take pictures and say, "Here's where I am today, picture wise, and here's where I am with everything with my health," because you wrote it all down, and you start doing it. But take the gel, right? Because you're going to take pictures of your skin, but take it. And if you hurt anywhere, or you're stiff anywhere, or you can't do a deep knee bend and come up with no stiffness or hurting, or your shoulder doesn't move, or your hand is stiff, or your neck's a little stiff, rate the discomfort level on a scale of 1 to 10. Doesn't matter how severe it is. 10 is severe, 1 is mild. Shake this up. It's clear. There's no smell. It's the same thing as the drink, but in a gel form. It's marketed for wrinkles and cellulite. It works for that, proven. But put it on the area of find 10 people that are hurting, put it on 3 times in 5 minutes. So you put it on, it dries, put it on, it dries, put it on, it dries. You don't have to massage it, just put it on. And watch what happens to 9 of the 10 people in 10 minutes. And it absolutely validates this for whatever reason the person wants to validate it, whether it's just for their own edification, to see if they haven't seen results with the drink yet, because they're looking at the opportunity, they want to know it works before they tell anybody. A person does that. They have 10 people in a room. They put it on. I know what's going to happen to 9 of the 10 people, maybe 10. And people are like, "What in the world is this? It's not just salt water. What is it? How does it do that?" And then they want to know more about this. But as far as your question about protecting yourself in the sun, I can't make that claim. I've seen that happen to me, but I can't make the claim because we can't make any type of medical claims with this because it's not a medicine.
You know what's interesting too, because my cousins who are here, they're also Italian. They have the same exact skin that I do. They tan very, very easily. They used sunscreen because they felt they had, indoctrinated. Got to put the sunscreen, and they both got burned.
Mhm.
They're both totally red.
Well, here's the thing:
Probably
if they're
reaction.
burned, they're burned, go.
Right.
That was my first aha moment in 2011. I was sitting at this unit where we're in this condo, that beach. I'm looking at the window, out the same window, and I fell asleep the first day I got here. I fell asleep on the beach, and I woke up and I was burned. I was burned because I fell asleep and I forgot to put sunscreen on. And the next day I was going with my daughter to go wave running, jet skiing. And you got to put the vest on, and I was like, I can't even touch my shoulders; they're on fire. And they didn't have the gel then. All we had was the drink back then in 2011. So I was skeptical because I hadn't seen it work on me for anything. And I soaked paper towels with this stuff, and I laid it on top of me, and I just kept pouring the liquid on. The next day, I had no burn.
That's
a
great.
good idea. That's a very, very good idea.
This is
That's
So,
a great idea.
I mean, a picture, how you say, a picture says 1,000 things, but you all know what I'm trying to say, right? Whatever, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Anyway, long story short, you can look at the Elixir of the Gods we did a couple of months ago. Look at my hair. Look at the Elixir of the Gods Part 2. Look at my hair. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, and I'm not using anything else. This is it. This is inside, and that's outside. And I got to tell you, and it has just been like this 2 or 3 times a day, like some gel.
Yeah.
Date
Look,
night.
you're gonna have a ponytail soon.
What's that?
You have a ponytail soon.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, absolutely. But look at this. I mean, look at the videos. It's all like.
Well, look, you guys. I met you in Florida in person. What was it? January, I think it was January. I was there in Melbourne, and I remember you didn't know anything about it, and I said to you, "Are you guys here to learn at this meeting about what this product is and what it does? Are you here because you've already seen it work and you want to see why it works? You want to understand more, or are you looking at the opportunity?" And you said, "We don't know anything." And I asked you, "Do either of you have anything that hurts you?" And April said, "My back." So I gave you a little tube of gel. I said, "Put it on 3 times in 5 minutes. I'm going to go up and speak. When we're done, we'll talk." But when I asked for people to stand up and give testimonials, I saw you stand up in the back. And I said, it worked on her because you didn't know what it was. And that's where it all began. But my point is this: you all look younger than you did in January. We all look younger than we did 10 years ago with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one thing that everybody in the world wants, is what you said: live younger, longer, right? Doesn't matter if you're poor, doesn't matter if you're a king or a queen, they would pay anything to live younger, longer.
Yeah.
This is what we have. Who would have thought that would be something as simple as being made from salt and water?
Yeah, and Danielle, when we got in the rhythm with working with you on this, from sharing this with people, and that's just been the feeling. I mean, I know you're talking to people, and you've been witnessing out this for everybody there. And I want to kind of get back to, and I know you can't make any claims, but when you had your brain injury, okay, when you were going through that, you went through a lot of migraines and stuff, and you actually thought that would never go away, and that was like going to kind of be your life, but it really isn't anymore. And tell us a little bit about that, like, that moment for you, like, because I want to help. I want to get those people, because there's these people that are watching at this and saying, okay, well, whatever. I really want to help you not try this as like another thing. I really want to, like what the young lady said on the thing, like, hey, I'm excited about this. Like, this is a real thing. How did you approach it though? So I want to, because I know you approached it kind of, okay. So how did you really approach it? And then really, when you did start to have that breakthrough of where are the headaches going, was it a subtle thing for you? Like, how did that experience look like?
Yeah, I didn't have Tracy's enthusiasm. So Tracy, I'm excited that you're excited. I looked at this, and honestly, I was like trying to tell my parents, like, you're involved in a scam. This stuff doesn't work. I'm going to prove to you it doesn't work. But they had both had their own experiences. Like, they knew the stuff worked, and they're like, we got to get through to our daughter. So they got me on it with the agreement that I would use it for 6 months, because they said, look, it's cellular repair. That might take some time. Like, your body didn't get in this situation. It's been lasting now for several years. Why don't we see what this can bring? And I thought, all right, and the scientist in me said, well, let's keep it all the same. No new variables. I was on a prescription medication, for all the pounding that was in my head and all that intensity that was going on. And it wasn't helping. And in fact, like, this, if you take it too long, the side effect of this medication is migraines. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? Not the most helpful thing in the world. So anyways, that's how I started. And I honestly, like, talk about, thankfully my mind didn't get in the way, because as I was drinking it, I was literally thinking, like, they're wasting their money on this stuff, and thank goodness it worked despite my negative thinking. And it went to work in my body, and I didn't notice anything. Jay, it wasn't like, for me, I didn't have a wow moment. There wasn't this, like, the gel. I couldn't do what, Dr. Silverman's telling all of you to do, which I beg you, when you get it, go do it. Like, it's going to get you so excited to see this working, and your belief will just go through the roof. Like, oh, what they're saying is true. But I didn't have any of that. So I'm just drinking it. And I was drinking 8 ounces a day. Thank goodness, someone had given us the advice to start me at that amount. And so it was in the 3rd month that a shift was undeniable. Like, I often think if I went back, did something happen before then? I don't know. I was so skeptical. I was not willing to admit that had made a difference. But in the 3rd month, the pounding in my head stopped for the first time in 2 years. And I thought to myself, wow, if this is all this does, I'll take it for the rest of my life, you know, because I was still dealing with sensitivities to noise, to light, you know, I couldn't focus for extended periods. But it was around that time too, my focus came back. It was like the world got crisp again, you know, I could concentrate on things. I was paying attention to conversations and I could track the conversation. I wasn't getting tired. I used to have to nap. Like if I went to the grocery store to shop, that was the day. Like I couldn't do anything else. The amount of colors, input, the light, people talking, noise, like my brain was done. I was doing that. And then I would, you know, go out to lunch with a friend and then I'd have a conversation at night. I take the dog on a walk and my parents were going like, don't you need to lie down, Danielle? And I just looked at them and I said, no, something's changing. And I think it was my cognitive therapist that kind of put the exclamation mark on it because I had been going to her office weekly for over a year. And she said to me, she said, Danielle, I've worked with people with this type of injury for 30 years. And I've never witnessed someone have such a rapid recovery, rapid shift in, you know, symptoms so far out from their initial trauma. She said, with this type of injury, it doesn't happen. And she's the one that said, what the hell is that stuff you started drinking? And that was the catalyst for me because I thought, yeah, well, what is this stuff? And so the biologist in me got very curious because I thought it was salt water. You know, I did not understand and I wasn't willing, you know, to take a look at it. But that's what got my curiosity. And then, Jay, I heard what David said because Dr. Silverman, he's the one that got on the call with my therapist, with Debbie, and she was so excited about what had happened with me. And David was so nonchalant. I mean, he was just like, well, yeah, of course. You know, how much was she drinking and how long did it take? I mean, like it was nothing. I'm like, are you kidding me? Every doctor I've been to told me that this is, you know, permanent, chronic, nothing we could do. And here he is like, well, yeah, of course. You know, it was just a matter of time.
You know, and that's like, first of all, it's amazing that the transformation that you've been through and that you've been able to share it with other people and literally helped probably at this point, tens of thousands of people. And so many people have been or are experiencing something that you just said. They go to the doctor and the doctor feeds them the line of the doom and gloom. You're going to be this way for the rest of your life. Just accept it, go on the medication, try to work your life around it, so forth and so on. And it's very disheartening and it's very discouraging. And a lot of people take that advice and it manifests, it goes in their head and they believe it. It gets indoctrinated, and then they start to manifest that life of this is going to be the rest. This is my life for the rest of my life. I might as well just get used to it. And it really takes a lot of courage, a lot of learning, and a lot of knowledge to be able to break through that. It's really indoctrination.
It's like everything's being reversed on this. You know, Dr. David, and you've just been a great example of what else this is doing for people. So there's the obvious anti-aging, there's the benefits, you know, and things that we can't talk about, wink, wink, but everybody knows, right? But then there's that 5D economy we've been talking about too. Okay. And, you know, you've been leading the way on this one and really setting an example of this even as a physician on this. This is this company, the way I can say it is they've epitomized this, what we call the 5D economy, which is really becoming abundant by helping other people become abundant. You not only have led the way on this one, but you've also really just on the health side really helping there, but you've also been able to really share with people about this. So this is really a beautiful thing because we talk in context and we did a video yesterday with one of our colleagues, and it was really about if you're in your accumulation or your working years still, and you have the ability to work physically, mentally, and you literally do, and money is an issue for you right now, I just personally believe that it shouldn't be an issue. There's ways out there. There's solutions out there. What are people looking for? They're looking for longevity. They're looking to live younger, longer. there's solutions out there where money shouldn't be an issue for you. I'd like, if you could, to speak about that, Dr. David, if you could. Your motivator as a physician to say, okay, look, I'm a surgeon. I went through all this years of school, and here now in my life is this blue bottle and this white tube. And what you saw with that, and why you said, okay, I don't really give a shit what anybody says. I'm going to do this. This needs to get out there. And there is a legitimate business side behind this that can still support and give my family what they need in this life also.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, I had never heard the term 5D economy until I met you.
That's what we
but it's exactly what this is. You have a breakthrough that this company, it's a biotech company, literally it's a biotech company. And there's some videos you can see how this company started, but it's a miracle that they were able to do this, number one. But it's a biotech company that was going to, once they perfected it, they were going to sell it to make a lot of money from a pharmaceutical company that wanted to buy it. And when they got the sense, which was a pretty clear sense, that the pharmaceutical company was just going to shut the whole thing down, and that would be the end of it, and it was just going to go away and no one would know about it. Because the reason they know that is because they had a lot of people on the product, and they said, well, here's the check, we'll buy it. It's shut down. And they said, what about the people that are on the product? And the pharmaceutical company said, they'll find another way. They'll find something else. Well, that's when it went from being a business play into a humanitarian play, and said, we got to get this to the world. We can't just take the money and run. And they could have, and they've had big offers since then, but they will never let it out of their possession, because if someone says, hey, we'll give you $2 billion for it, and we're going to bring it to the world, here's our plan. And then a pharmaceutical company, whatever pharmaceutical company you can think of, says, hey, we'll give you $5 billion for it. The company that paid $2 billion could just flip it and walk away with $3 billion, and then it's gone. And once it's gone, it's gone. And this industry that we're all kind of brainwashed to believe in, which has some very amazing things for people. I'm not a medicine basher. I am not a pharmaceutical basher. I am not, because it's what people need. Certain people need. My personal belief is that 90% of the people that take medications don't really need them. There's something natural they can do without side effects, right? But bottom line is they decided to market it through word of mouth. So all of the money that would go to drug reps, to if it was a pharmaceutical, to advertising, to spokespeople, it doesn't go to them. It goes to us. 50% of global volume goes to us. We share it with people. They share it with people. They share it with people. So nobody's focusing on making money, but they're going to pay us for that whole ripple effect. How do you impact 100,000 people, which I've done well over that. I don't know 100,000 people, but let's say I tell 10 people about this, and those 10 people each do what I did. They tell 10 each they know, and those 100 tell 10 each, and those 1,000 tell 10 each, and those 10,000 tell 10 each. That's 100,000 people. And the 5D economy part of this is, instead of giving the money to the pharmaceutical companies or Coca-Cola or to the power company or to whatever, which is what we do, and CEOs get rich as hell, the money goes to us because we're the one that are bringing it to the world. And it gives, you talked about people have given up hope. You said that, April, and a lot of people have given up hope, and they just settle into their disease. They settle into their condition. They settle into their financial situation. They settle into their debt situation. They settle into settling in life or struggling in life financially, and they don't have to. You don't have to have a degree. I mean, I'm a doctor. I sold my practice. I much rather do this because it's liberating. It's residual income. It's exhilarating. I've been doing this almost as long as I did podiatry and foot surgery, right? And I can tell you, at the point where I left podiatry and foot surgery, I wasn't excited every day to get up. I wasn't excited every Sunday night. I loved what I did when I was with my patients, but I didn't like the routine. I didn't like managed care telling me, oh, they're covered for this and not for this. And then I got to say to somebody, you need to pay for this yourself. And then me dropping it down. Like, my time was worth money. I was taking time away from my family to make my living. With this, I get paid a lot more than I did as a doctor. It took time because you've got to create that ripple effect, but anybody can make enough money to pay for their product. Anybody can make enough money to get out of debt. Anybody can have the life of abundance they want if they're motivated and they're coachable and they're nice. If they're motivated, coachable, and nice, because this business is about sharing with people and sharing it consistently on a part-time basis. keep doing what you have to do to pay your bills. But you know what? There's a 90% chance that you don't love what you do. You're doing it because you want to pay your bills. You're doing it because you want the benefits. And you know what? Like I said, I'm psychologically unemployable. It'd be safe world to work for somebody and give me the benefits and then ask permission for vacation, ask permission. Can I have a raise? No, we can't give you a raise. That's not my life. This we're looking for people who are good people, nice people who want to make a difference. And you know what? If you get rewarded financially for it, you will. Fantastic. But you also get rewarded in goosebumps. I get more thank yous from this than I ever did, fixing bunions and fractured ankles. I got invited to patients' weddings. They loved me, and it was great. But I can impact people in Europe. I can impact people in Asia. You can do this from anywhere because of the internet. So I put my reputation on the line because I believed in the product. Once I believed in the product, I had to believe in the people who ran the company. I went to meet them and said, "You got me. I'm in," and I was off to the races.
There was something you just said coming back to me. Something it was just.
I said a lot. I talk so fast.
Well, while you're thinking, April, something came to me while you were talking. So, I mean, for me, this is it's so empowering because the external world, like, we can't control so much, right? My car accident happened. I couldn't work. And how many people are in a situation where their physical health, their ability to show up is tied to their ability to earn? I think it's the masses. And so when I got healthy, I just thought, well, I don't want to be in that situation again because I don't want to have to, be a victim to my circumstance again. And so I started asking, how is it that I can create a situation where if my physical health were to leave me or something were to happen, right, I would be okay. Mm-hmm. This is it. Because, I talked to somebody 6 years ago about ASEA. Just because something happens in my world, they're not going to stop buying their ASEA, And after 6 years, they know it works. They love it. It's natural to share. A ripple effect of what has already started. And so for so many, it's like time's going to pass anyway. And so why not prepare ourselves? I mean, COVID rocked the world, right? And everyone all of a sudden went, holy cow, what do I do? It turned things upside down, like professions like bartending that we never thought would ever go out of style, right? So what do you do? This is something to look at because it allows you to take your power back and say, no, I'm going to create. Like, I'm going to align myself with a company that aligns with my principles, my vision for the world, and I'm going to go create the impact that will outlast me. And the beautiful thing is, like, you can create something that I don't even have kids, but one day I might. I can will what I'm creating to my children. Like, and it's
Danielle, too, it's like because so many of us have been bought things to our attention and say, hey, put this out there, do this, you can make money at this. This is like selling God in a bottle. It's a spiritual experience. It's a religious experience, whatever you want to call it, whatever it means to you. I mean, in all seriousness there. But I want to say to people, like, you're getting the impact. You are sharing this with everybody anyway. Chances are, if you're using this, there's a high likelihood, because you got a wow factor. There's a high likelihood you're sharing this with someone anyway. It just makes sense that at the very least you get your costs covered. Mm-hmm. And if you want to run with it, get paid for it. It does make sense, and don't have to fear about this. And I think one of the things is like when something is so, like you said, Dr. David, it's breakthrough technology. I mean, it's a one of a kind. I mean, there's just not another lotion, potion, and shake. Don't have the fear about being happy and being and really working in this 5D economy model, because just because something like this maybe didn't strike you before, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. This is the way it's meant to be, in my opinion. It really is. It's meant to really, you share with sisters and brothers, and you help them become abundant. You help them become healthy. You help them just mind, body, spirit. And along the way, it all kind of balances out. Mind, body, prosperity just seems to show up together. This company has epitomized that. I really urge all of you out there that are in your working accumulation years. You could be a podcaster, you could be a consultant, whatever you do. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So it doesn't matter. So for number one, at the very least, be responsible to share this with your base of people that rely on you the most. is what I would say. Let them make the choice. You know what I mean? Let them make the choice if this all makes sense to them. And so I do encourage you to use your influence in the right way here. And this technology seems to have shown up for that.
And let me just mention one thing. You know, we have a support system, and when you say share it, people are like, well, how do I share it? We have the support system. We need. This is going to hit a tipping point, right? This company's what, 12 years old. They've grown revenue every year. They have no debt. But they only did $200 million last year, and that may sound like a lot to you, but you put the gel on 10 people who are hurting, and you'll say they should be doing more than this. But we can't make medical claims, so it's organic. But we have a system in place, and there are websites, there are videos, there are live Zooms that people can just plug into. If they're social media influencers, then they have influence already. They see the product work, it helps their mother, their memory gets better, or something happens with the blood sugar, or they're just whatever it is, they're sleeping better, which is one of the big things people. And they're like, wow, this works. They can monetize it. Anybody can monetize this knowledge. Once they have the knowledge, it's real. It's a team sport. Everybody wins. If one person wins, everybody wins. We say a rising tide raises all ships, and that's what happens with this. So I just love that you guys are involved with this, and you're the kind of people that we look for, good people who want to make a difference. And with your sphere of influence, you're just making it happen faster. And we're going to hit a tipping point. The company's goal is conservatively 500 million a year by 2025, and it's going to hit a tipping point. And when it's been growing like this, and it hits the 500 million, that's the beginning. This will go to 10 billion. This will go to 20 billion, because this is the greatest discovery advancement in health in the history of mankind. And that may sound like an exaggeration to people that haven't seen it work. Those of you who have know what I'm saying is no BS. It's true. This is massive.
It really is. I mean, it's to hear it without trying it, you're like, sure. You have to really try it and experience to understand what we're saying, because there is truly nothing like it. And it will give you what you are all wanting. It's going to give you the youth. It's going to give you the tightness. It's going to give you the energy. It's going to help you sleep better. All the other things that we really can't say. All you have to do, if you want to see some testimonials, if you want to read some testimonials, go back and read the comments from our previous shows. It is so wonderful. We get so many testimonials. We get a lot of them through the email, but a lot of our listeners that have purchased it either for themselves or someone they love are leaving written testimonials. Just go back and read them.
And you know what? I said this at the last show too, is that if you and we all do, we know someone that could use a little help in life, right? And but if you do have a soul, and you're breathing, you probably do the right thing and share this with someone that you know that could use some help, because this very well could be the solution that they have been looking for. Let them make that choice. Don't always necessarily make that choice for them unless you're your caregiver, regardless there. But I do want to
hold on a second, Roberta.
Oh, this one.
Not
That was a good one.
But I will tell you from experience, because when I first started taking it, I said to Jay the first week, this is the most god awful. I'm like, this is now it didn't phase him really that bad, but I was like,
worse.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
it tastes differently. Let me explain that. It tastes differently to everybody.
It got better, and now when we do it, and now when I take it, it doesn't even phase me.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. So there are 3 ways it'll taste to people. One, it'll taste like plain water. It means you're very non-toxic. Your body is non-toxic. You're very clean. People say, and then if it tastes like salt water, that goes away over time. You're slightly toxic. If it tastes like swimming pool water, you're more toxic. If it's strong swimming pool water, you're really toxic. But what happens is when your body starts replacing all of these cells, these bad cells with good cells, and that debris gets released into the bloodstream, you want to urinate it out. So you want to drink a lot of water, and over time, over 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it'll start tasting like water. So it is almost like, I don't want to say diagnostic, but if it tastes bad to you, it means you really should be drinking it. And if it tastes bad at the beginning, then you put it in the refrigerator. That's what you do.
Now you don't want to mix it with anything, right?
No. And I know when people call, you'll give them instructions. And the other thing is there's a counterfeit product on the market and a lot of expired products. So you only want to get it from an ASEA associate, which you guys are, I am, Danielle is, because it comes from an FDA registered production facility. The FDA goes in and audits this production facility just like they would a pharmaceutical company, even though it's not a pharmaceutical. And it's shipped to 26 distribution centers around the world to 33 countries. But you want to, this is really important. You know, I'll buy golf balls online, right? I'll buy, what did I buy recently? I bought pads of paper online, but I don't want to buy something online that I don't know for sure what it is, that it's authentic and it's fresh, something that's going to go to every cell of my body to make me younger again. You only want to get it through an independent ASEA associate.
And you know what? I do want to just tag on one thing that you said. I really never considered myself toxic. I actually, before we started taking this, I considered myself really like not, you know, I did everything to keep our bodies detoxified, juicing, running, doing all the things you're supposed to do. But guess what? I was toxic because it did have that awful taste to me in the beginning where I felt like, Jay, not so much, but me, I definitely felt it. And I thought, geez, this is really, really strong. So it really made me realize, and I didn't understand that until you said it, that I was toxic. I didn't think that I was.
Well, look, you know, we're all unaware of what's going on inside.
Who knows?
You think about anybody you know that's had that horrible disease that no one wants to hear they have in any part of their body, their breast, their lung, whatever. You know what? When the day they finally go to the doctor, it didn't just start. It started as one cell that went bad, and it wasn't detected by the immune system, and it multiplied. So you were toxic, didn't know it. There are people walking around that have things that are brewing, they don't know it. That all of a sudden, the only thing you go to the doctor with that happens right then is trauma. Almost everything else, it was brewing for a while, and then all of a sudden it got to the point where you noticed it and you can't ignore it anymore. But it was going on before. That's the beauty of this product. It's amplifying the signal in the body so that when bad things are happening, let the body take care of it so it never becomes a problem. That's the real miracle of this product, and it's as safe as water.
Dr. David here, as we get down to the winding down of all this, when people, okay, the links are, as you can see, are in the description below, and whoever sent you there gave you a link, so do reach out to them. There's also a contact number there. Do reach out to someone so they can help you walk through the site and order. You don't know what you don't know. Just please get there. But what do you think that initial order should look like when people do go to place their orders? What should they be looking to do?
Well, with the first month, over time, if you're drinking 4 ounces a day, which is what some people do, they need 4 bottles on an ongoing basis. But the first month, it's very important that every person that's going to drink it gets 8 bottles, 2 cases. And here's the reason. You drink 2 ounces twice a day, 60 ml twice a day. It comes with a little cup. And after 1 week, you've gone through 1 bottle pretty much. And you reassess how you're doing, because at the first, before you started, sleep, energy, mood, blood sugar, weight, allergies, ringing in the ear, everything. At day 7, you reassess. Only 15% of people will say, wow, that's amazing, right? The other 85% are saying, well, I don't really see anything, right? Now, if they put the gel on 10 people that are hurting, in 10 minutes, they know it's real. But for to see changes in yourself, the 85% of people that didn't see anything, they need to double it and go to what's called the magic 8 ounces a day, at least temporarily, until they see their changes themselves, right? Well, if they only have 4 bottles, they go through a bottle the first week, 15% of people will keep doing that. But 85% should double it. So they go through 1 bottle the first week, they go through 2 bottles the second week. By 2.5 weeks in, if they only have 4 bottles, it's gone. So there's a money back guarantee. So my recommendation is to get 8 bottles per person the first month and 2 tubes of the gel minimally. If they got a family they're going to test it on, then they have these packs. It's called an entrepreneur pack or a family pack. It's a money back guarantee, and you get more free product down the line with getting those bigger packs at the beginning. But nobody's spending more than $1,000. It's like it's $200 to $1,000. But there's a money back guarantee. So I say, if you're going to test it right. and get 8 bottles per person on that first order.
It's absolutely that's exactly what we did. We wanted to know going in that, okay, we're gonna go in, like
We
anything.
wanted the fast track.
We wanted the fast track, but we also knew that, hey, let's just be very pragmatic about it and know that you got to give this a fair shot. 3 months is a reasonable shot. You can't be. It's not like an aspirin for a headache kind of thing.
Right.
And but I did want to know that going into month 2 that this was the keeper for me. And by doing the Magic 8 is how I was able to determine that. I knew before.
What you just said, the word you said is very good when people are ordering this. Be pragmatic. Just know the options and the benefits of what you're ordering, because you can get a lot of free product and there's just no risk. And again, money back guarantee for 30 days. You'll know it's real with doing this. If you do what I said, double at day 7, then 60% of people are pretty stunned by day 30. That leaves 40% who are not with the drink. But if they've used the gel on people, they know. And by day 90, as you said, 90 days is the test period. 90 days, 90% of people are stunned. And again, people that are skeptical, I'm like, hey, look, there's a money back guarantee. You don't sleep well, your son's on the spectrum, you got ringing in your ears, you got a skin problem. There's a money back guarantee for 30 days. Number 1, it's safe there. 2, there's no risk. When I would write prescriptions for people, I could kill them if they were allergic to a medication. I could kill them. You can't be allergic to this; it's in you. I could write a prescription and they're taking another medication. It could interact. I could kill them. This doesn't interact with anything, so it's safe there. And there's no toxicity. If I accidentally, I drink 8 ounces a day, but if I accidentally drank 2 bottles, it can't hurt me. My body turns the excess back into saline. So my point is, it's just as safe as water, and there's no risk. So get what you need initially. Don't play around with it. And then you get a lot of free product anyway.
And, talking about that, there's no toxicity. We have all heard of accidents with children, right? Even with they got into the medicine cabinet with NyQuil or aspirin or anything. We've all heard tragic accidents. There will never be an accident. You can never have an accident.
No,
literally can leave it on the counter in your kitchen and
an accidental awakening, maybe. Wow,
it'll never hurt anyone.
The worst thing that can happen is it falls on your toe and then you need a podiatrist. But I don't do that anymore. Right.
Oh, I love it.
And also, we didn't mention the other products. The company's got 13 products. They're all focused on the cell. We're focusing on the blue and the white here. But somebody commented about the skin products. The skin, it just accentuates everything, optimizes what this does for the skin. And they've got nutritionals. They've got the cellular performance products, mood, mind, and energy. So I know we focused on the blue and the white, but we don't want to overload people. Just this is the foundational thing that God gave us. It's in us, but he gave it to us. He or she gave it to us more when we were younger. We're able to just biohack and make ourselves younger with this. The rest of the stuff is like a bonus for me.
I love it. This is great. Much love to both of you two for your service, your dedication to really helping us have a better existence in our journey called life. Thank you for that. Danielle Matthews, final words before you leave us.
I just want to say, you guys, to me, like coming into my world, 4 months ago, meeting you all are on a mission. And I think you have been for the decade prior to me even meeting you. And you want to uplift others. And I don't know if everyone realizes that is listening to you as part of your audience, is connected through all the channels to you. What a gift it is to be able to work alongside you in this. Your all's hearts are so pure with what you want to do, and you're putting your talents and your efforts out there for others to be able to benefit from. Like with this type of business, when you see 5D economy, I'm like, I hope it sinks in, because you all are growing and prospering, but only because you've helped hundreds of other people grow and prosper. And it's out there for the taking, right? Like opportunity knocks, you got to answer. And I just want to say, if you're listening to this, it's knocking. Pay attention, because things like this don't come around. And you're blessed that it's entered your world. And to work with Jay and April is an honor. I mean, it has been a pleasure for myself, David, and all of you have access to it too. And they have beautiful minds and beautiful hearts to support you.
God love it. God love it.
Amen.
Got to get her on some sort of present list. Dr. David, before you love and leave us, any final words from you?
No, what Danielle just said, and she's a great leader in this company now. And she started as a skeptical product user and then a skeptical business person, and now she's a leader in the company. But what she said is true about opportunity. You never know what God's going to put in front of us. But when it knocks on the door, you have to at least open the door and look. You can't just keep the door shut, whether you're sick, whether you love somebody who's sick and is struggling, it's a problem in the family, if it's financial, if it's you're looking for more meaning in life. This is an opportunity. This does not come along very often. I'll never see anything like this in my lifetime. I just encourage people to open the door, and whatever your need is in your life, take a good look and do your own investigation. Because bottom line is, everybody that you know and everybody that I know is going to be on this product one day. It's just that demonstrable and so easy. So I agree with everything Danielle said, and I agree what she said about you. And I thank you guys. It's going to be a pleasure working for the rest of my life with you.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. You guys are just amazing people. Much love to both of you. It's a privilege to know your spirits. Much love to everybody out there hanging out there. And again, listen, the numbers scrolling there, the website scrolling there. Reach out to us. We're happy to help. Mind, body, spirit, and prosperity. Reach out. We'll help get you through the other side of this. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody, as you always do. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. And together we're turning the universal key to global harmony and creating a unified world. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, tune in often. Tell all your friends. And most importantly, may all your beautiful dreams come true. Many blessings.